Hey, what's up guys and gals? My name is Rick9G. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to be talking about Gilligan's Island, more specifically about Ginger Grant, played by the amazing Tina Louise, who is by chance the only current surviving member of the cast of Gilligan's Island. I'm going to get a little bit into some of my favorite scenes where she flirts with individuals on the island. Some of the best scenes, I'll just discuss them. I'll kind of break them down for you just a little bit. Let me know which ones you enjoy the most, and if I did miss any, also let me know, so that maybe in the future, if you guys and gals like this video enough, I'll make a second part to it. I will be giving away a DVD of the entire season 3 of Gilligan's Island, so if you have been watching the channel, supporting by watching many of the videos, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It's the only way that you can be eligible to win the DVD set, so make sure to watch the entire video to see all the details. Now, season 2 of Gilligan's Island, episode 3, it's called The Little Dictator. We essentially have a dictator from Echo Rico, the country of Echo Rico, who lands on the island, and he has a weapon, and he essentially wants to rule Gilligan's Island. He wants to be the de facto president for life. It's a pretty hilarious episode played by Nehemiah Persoff, and what's interesting, he is currently alive at the time of this video. He's 101 years old, one of the surviving guest stars from Gilligan's Island, which is pretty much mind-blowing. And it's amazing in the middle of the episode where Ginger and the gang are trying to get that firearm away from him to just secure the island and secure from him, the dangerous man. And so she goes in there with her flirting skills, and we see him start to sweat. She kind of puts her hands all over him, gets really close in there, trying to charm him as much as possible, flirting with him to the max degree, essentially using herself as a weapon. And she's almost successful. She's not fully successful, but she even gets a hold of the firearm, but he kind of outsmarts her and gets out of this kind of hypnotic spell that she has on him, and well, he continues to quote-unquote terrorize the island. How many of you remember this moment, and who liked it? Let's go a little bit back in time into season 1, into the black and white episodes. If we look at episode 17, it's called Little Island Big Gun. Now in this one we have another guest star. His name is Larry Storch. Now he was seen in F Troop and a lot of other television shows. Again, very incredible at the time of this video. He is still currently alive at age 98, which is, again, absolutely almost impossible and really cool to think about. We have another living guest star of Gilligan's Island. Now, in this story, which is, of course, a great one, he's playing Jackson Farrell, who is a bank thief, a bank robber who washes up on the island. He has, again, a firearm, and he has a lot of money, and he pretends to be a doctor. Now, he tricks the castaways into thinking that he's a good doctor helping the natives on many islands, and he washed up on shore, but they soon find out the truth, that he is a bank robber, and they try to form another plan. That plan is, well, to use Ginger to seduce him, to flirt with him, and, well, she does a number on him. She makes him sweat. She makes him lay down, or that is kind of lounge down, and she puts her hands all over him and just kind of flirts as much as possible, again using her as a weapon, trying to get the weapon off of him. Unfortunately, of course, it does not work. It's so close to working. One of my favorite moments from season 1, and it goes great. Who remembers this episode and who liked it? Now, moving on to season 3, episode 4, it's called The Producer. We have another guest star. His name is Phil Silvers. He plays Harold Hecuba. Now, in this one, we have the pretty famous version where the castaways play off of Hamlet. And it's a really funny one. It's kind of a musical in some parts. I'm not really a huge fan of musicals, but it's an episode that I actually fairly enjoy a lot. And we see Ginger playing different type of characters. She plays like this type of Italian actress that is very poor Italian mother, trying to show off to him as a producer. Then she plays a Marilyn Monroe type character. She kind of comes out of the hut, you know, shaking her stuff left and right, and goes over there trying to show her acting chops again. Now, while it is a kind of a flirt, she is playing the part in the episode, and so there's kind of that wishy-washy sense there. And again, Phil Silvers, or that is the character, Harold Hecuba, doesn't really fall for it. He thinks, hey, I've seen this in a movie before, which is pretty hilarious. Producer, Hollywood, and she goes very upset that she doesn't get her way with getting into one of his shows. Now, our next moment comes from season 3 as well, but this time episode 16. It's called Take a Dare. The guest star in this one is Strother Martin. Now, he appears in one episode of I Love Lucy when they're going off to Florida, the Hatchet Murderous episode, that is. In this one, it's kind of a reality show on the radio. So they drop this man on the island unbeknownst to any of the castaways, and he's supposed to stay away from any human contact for about a week. And if he does that successfully, he's kind of in touch with the people running this contest. He essentially has a two-way radio where he can communicate back to the mainland. And he's trying to pretend that no one's on the island, but then the castaways see him and say, hey, we're here, rescue us, and so forth. And he's trying to keep it secret so that he wins the prize money. Now, they're trying to use that two-way radio to communicate back to the mainland. So who do they try to use? Of course, Ginger, with her glamorous glitter dress going out there. Now, she makes this man sweat, Mr. Barkley. He is, of course, very respectful to her. And, well, she puts her hands all over him, trying to get him to use that radio. And, in fact, she is not successful. But it is one of my personal favorite flirts because she does go strong and he nearly breaks. It's a really great scene to watch. Going back to season 2, episode 1, Gilligan's Mother-in-Law. What I love about this one is that we have 3 natives that come on the island. Interestingly enough, it is a father, mother, and daughter. They're all kind of chubby in their own way. What makes it kind of hilarious is that the mother, the woman who plays the mother, is the real-life wife of Jim Backus, Henny Backus, and she appears in the episode as a native woman, which is just a great little cameo that many people don't know about. So it's really cool to see that. And she's in a couple scenes with her husband, Jim Backus, real life husband, that is. And it's really cool to see. Other than that, the daughter of the chief falls in love with Gilligan, and Gilligan is afraid. He does not want to marry her under any circumstances. But there's another native who comes on the island, Haruki, and he is trying to fight for her heart. So it's a fight to the death, of course. Now everyone is worried, and they send Ginger in there to try to convince Haruki not to hurt Gilligan. Of course, she does her usual seductress moves and methods, which does make him sweat a little bit, but he's trying to use his macho native charm to not show that he's sweating at all. Unfortunately, she is not successful. This is one that I think a lot of you may like, especially this scene. What do you think about it, and do you remember watching it? And finally, guys and gals, I left the best for the last, in my opinion, regarding this entire list. It's from season 2, episode 21, Gilligan's Living Doll. In other words, it's the robot episode. It's one of my favorites because in all of these, of course, Ginger is trying to seduce or flirt with a man, a human being. Well, not here. Here she seduces or tries to seduce the robot. And it's really comical because, of course, she puts her hands and arms around the robot. And it's one that's very memorable. A lot of you always tell me about this one and say, hey, remember the one where she's trying to flirt with the robot? It's pretty hilarious. Even the robot, some steam comes out of his ears, and then he gets the tilt feature that pops up right in front of him. It's a great scene, and honestly, yes, there is a man inside that robot suit, but I think that my hat goes off to Tina Louise. This is silly, but she makes it kind of real, like what she's doing. She really brings life to the character. Essentially, we're just watching Metal and Tina flirt with Metal, and I think it's just done so well. She doesn't have any kind of acting to bounce back from. She essentially has someone who's completely stiff. There is nothing that comes from it. And so, yeah, she's showing her acting chops here, and she does an amazing job. My favorite flirt of this entire list. Let me know, guys and gals, if I missed any, or if you want to see another one in a follow-up video, I do want to let you know how to win the Season 3 Gilligan's Island DVD set. All you have to do is, of course, as I mentioned earlier, you have to be a subscriber. If you're already a subscriber, great. If you're not, you have to hit that red subscribe button. Secondly, you got to hit this video, hit that like button. Thirdly, leave a message down below in the comments. It has to contain ginger flirts. Those are the 2 words, ginger flirts. As long as you have that in any point in your comment, you will be eligible. And then finally, there's a link in the description where I ask if you want to participate for the giveaway, to put just a little bit of information in there that's only for me, so that when I pick the winner, I can ship that DVD to you free of charge and choose the winner in a very expedited manner. Thank you so much for the support. As always, thank you so much for enjoying the work that I do. More videos are coming. The best way to support is, of course, to watch the videos. Thank you so much for doing so. And don't forget, guys and gals, be hopeful. Thank you so much to all the supporters I have on Patreon, especially my Diamond tier patrons: Vito L, Tommy G, Ricky, David D, Citizen Kane, Sally N, and Grace U. If you want to find more exclusive content, visit my Patreon page, links in the description.